Nikita Krylov has done it again, ladies and gentlemen. The light heavyweight contender has extended his win streak to 2 fights now, putting an end to Volkan Oezdemir by a unanimous decision. Fans were pumped for this one, and it looks like they got their money's worth. Krylov also called out title contender Anthony Smith, who was quick to respond to the threat. Keep watching this video for the latest updates on fast-rising Nikita Krylov. First up, worth every penny. UFC 280 had it all. We got to see a lot of good fights, but the best one was perhaps the light heavyweight showdown between Nikita Krylov and Volkan Oezdemir. What a fight, guys. It had everything. Deadly punches, rib-crushing knees, and back-breaking takedowns. The two warriors left no stone unturned as they gave it their absolute best at UFC 280. Nikita ended up winning the fight by unanimous decision, but Volkan came really close to ending the Ukrainian fighter on several occasions. Now, Oezdemir did start pretty well, catching Krylov with a beautiful combination, forcing him to level up. His sloppiness even opened up a potential takedown possibility, but the Ukrainian was able to escape, only to get right back up and land a brutal knee of his own. That knee really hurt Volkan. He was visibly wobbly, but credit to him for being able to keep the fire burning. Both gentlemen continued to exchange blows and takedowns before the sound of the bell. The second round was equally exciting. It's like both fighters were leveling up after every single round. Nikita managed to get some good control time before landing a beautiful combination, followed by a deadly left high kick to stun the Swiss fighter. Oezdemir was clearly tired in the third and spent a lot of time on the mat, but he was able to squeeze in some dangerous right hands before Nikita took him right back down. The Ukrainian did just enough to get the victory, but boy, this fight was worth the price of admission. Next, it could have gone either way. Now, don't get us wrong, we're all Team Krylov here. We thought he deserved the victory, considering how many times he managed to take Volkan down, but it was a fight that could have gone either way, to be honest. Oezdemir did get some sick combinations of his own, but the Nikita just kept leveling up. Whatever Volkan threw at him, he absorbed it, learned it, and made sure it didn't happen again. At the end of the day, we're happy with the scores, and if we're being honest, we're actually super glad Krylov was able to finish on top. It opens the doors to a lot of good fights in the future, with the best one being a match against the one and only dangerous Anthony Smith. Nikita called him out shortly after his victory, and we'll get to that part in a bit, but first, we'd like to talk to you about the corners. Krylov's corner had his back the entire time. His coach and team were guiding him throughout the fight, making sure he had everything covered. And Volkan's corner? Well, that was a completely different story. There was just too much coming from there, and the fact that his coach was just berating him while he fought inside the cage was a bit too much. We get that it was only to help the former title contender, and we also get that he's a grown man, capable of taking some words of wisdom from his coach, no matter how harsh they might sound. But in between fights while he's taking a beating? Not cool. Moving on, fight of the night? It was pretty obvious the fans had an awesome time watching these two monsters maul each other, but the way fighters reacted to this fight was just unbelievable. It was such an explosive fight, with both men going absolutely nuclear. Neither of them was willing to back down, just giving it to each other round after round. And like we said before, it was a really close fight that could have gone either way. Some fighters, even though it was the fight of the night, and that's really big considering the amount of star power on the cards. We had guys like Islam, Charles, Aljamain, Sean O'Malley, and Peter Yan on the card. But Volkan and Nikita going down as the fight of the night? Now that's huge. And sure, the fight might not have been the main event or something, but it was worth it. Every single second of that fight was super entertaining. It might have been listed as a preliminary bout, but gosh, it was anything but that. We still can't get enough of the fight, and we've watched the highlights like 20 times already. Following up, everyone noticed it. MMA reporter Damon Martin also noticed that part about how Oezdemir's coach was just unloading on his fighter when he was on the ground. And you might not have believed us when we said it before, but it probably got to him. Sure, he's a professional fighter, but don't you think he's trying to get off the ground? His coach was probably upset about how he felt no urgency to get off the mats when Krylov was completely dominating him there, but yelling at him in between the fight. It got the attention of the fans, and it also got the attention of fighters and reporters as well. So it's not like we're blowing it out of proportion, but it was just one of those what is even going on moments. Why is his coach yelling at him like he's already losing the fight or something? Take some notes from Khabib, man. All we're waiting for now is for someone to ask Volkan whether he heard his coach yelling at him while he was getting whooped on the ground. Up next, the correct decision. Let's focus on the positives now. Nikita scores a W and puts himself in a really suitable spot by calling out Anthony Smith, and the judges don't get heat for making a controversial decision. Most fights at UFC 280 were pretty clean, except for the Sean vs. Peter fight. Everyone thought the Russian got robbed, and it sort of sparked a controversy. Fans thought the UFC was trying its absolute best to maintain the hype and sellability of Sugar to continue to cash in on him in the division. But when it comes to the clash of the light heavyweights, everyone was satisfied with how the judges scored the fight. Award-winning journalist Kevin Lole scored the fight 29-28 on his card in favor of the Ukrainian, calling it a very clean and impressive fight. MMA comedian Tommy Toehold came up with something really funny and cool as well. Do you know when someone wakes up really angry and just chooses violence? Well, Tommy thought Nikita woke up and just said, "F everything today." We wouldn't exactly word it like that, but considering the way he fought, it definitely felt like he didn't care about anything. Now for, he's anything but scared. Anthony Smith was pretty quick to respond to Nikita's call-out at UFC 280, and if we're being honest, we're glad he took it with so much class. Instead of blasting him about how he still needs to do this and that to get a fight against him, Smith said he's anything but scared and willing to take on the Ukrainian as soon as he can fight again. Anthony has a lot of respect for his new challenger, and when we say a lot, we mean a lot. He's still blown away by how quickly Krylov was able to get rid of Gustafsson. While talking to the media about the call-out, Smith said that Nikita is the division's dark horse. The way he was able to take down Gustafsson so quickly without any trouble whatsoever is just mind-blowing, and we get why he'd say something like that since it took him 4 rounds to do the same. Last but not least, it's always a yes. Regardless of what Anthony had to say, you're not exactly surprised by his response. Smith is what we like to call a yes man, and we don't mean he's a puppet of the UFC or a guy who doesn't go after what he wants. He's a yes man to whatever you throw in front of him. Nikita just called him out? Yeah, sure, bring it on. In fact, guys from the heavyweight class can even try their luck at calling Smith out, and he'll never say no. He's just built differently. He'll take on anyone no matter the stakes, and that's one of the things we love about him. And for a potential Nikita versus Smith fight, we're on board. Both fighters are on the same page, and the only thing missing now is Dana White's approval. With both men looking to get back their title contention, we reckon this is going to be a really good fight packed with action. We can't even predict who will win, since both of them are just monsters. But for now, all we can say is, may the best man win. That's it from our side, folks. So what do you think? Were you impressed with Nikita's performance at UFC 280? And how will he fare against the dangerous Anthony Smith? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.